The topics discussed and the information provided on this program is for general information. The hosts of this show are not medical professionals and are expressing their personal views and stories related to their individual lives. Their views are not intended to be used or taken as medical information. If you or a family member have suffered a traumatic brain injury, you should seek help from a practicing licensed physician.
We hope to help you. We want you to know that there's some life after the hurt. I'm Malin Whitaker, and welcome to Brain Mechanics with Matt Duffin. Our goal on this show is to help you who have been suffering from TBIs, post-traumatic stress, and various brain injuries, that there is hope, that there is a way, that we care about you, and you're going to make it. That's why we're here, to try and help. On today's show, we have a guest motivational speaker, DarcyKeith, who also a brain injury survivor of 25 years, is both a mom and a professional in motivational speaking. And what we want you to remember today is that these are our opinions, that they are deeply held because we've been there and we've done that. But they are our opinions. We're neither doctors nor lawyers nor professionals in any way, but we want to know that, and want you to know that there is hope. And now over to the host of our show, Matt Duffin.
No applause. This is my opinion. This is his opinion. Let me tell you, mine works. I know that. I'm not putting anything else down. I know my program worked. I meet a lot of interesting people, especially since I joined the radio. Sometimes they come and visit. All the time they call. Or that texting thing. And I seem to be able to help a lot of them, according to them. I do it all for free. And when I hear things like that, I get goosebumps. It's like the best payment I ever had in my life. But still, don't pay nothing. I have to find money. You know, I haven't really got anything planned, and we'll see. If we've got time for some coping skills, we might do it. I'm having trouble reading again today. However, hi Darcy.
Hi Matt.
I got DarcyKeith with us. She's a good friend of mine. We met at a brain injury conference a few years ago. And I get to see her at all the conferences now. And I met her daughter. I did an interview with her daughter, Olivia, on the radio one day, and she followed me around all day. She thought it was just the neatest thing. She's a Indiana junior queen. And I'll let Darcy go into all that. She is a queen. They're both queens. You know, we can get right into it. You know, I'd like to know, or you tell the people of Indiana, just what did happen to you, how you got your TBI, when it was, and how do you adjust to coming out of it? What was your...
Well, Matt, I would say first, going through life, all of us have plans and we have goals. And this is no different. When I was a senior in college, I was going to graduate. I had plans and dreams and goals of having a successful career. Well, there was a time when I was coming back from a sorority trip where we were involved in a car crash. A semi hit us, And none of us in the back seat, there were 3 of us, none of us were buckled. And the 2 in the front seat that were buckled walked away from the crash unharmed. As for the 2 sitting next to me, they unfortunately died in the crash, leaving me the only backseat survivor. And because of the way the semi hit us, it threw my head into the window for my left lobe injury and then in the front seat causing my right frontal injury. And I was in a coma for 6 days. Now, when I came out of my coma, and for those of us who are survivors of traumatic brain injury that have been in comas, it's not like we just wake up and know what's going around us. We have to learn how to live all over again.
Right.
And that was no different for me. I had to learn how to eat, how to breathe, how to walk, how to talk, how to think, how to drive, how to be potty trained. Pretty much everything a newborn baby has to do all over again.
Potty trained is important.
Potty.
Well, let me tell you, when you're a grown adult and you have to learn how to use the restroom all over again,
well, and
it's a little tough.
It is tough, and especially tough when you're in a hospital bed and somebody comes in the middle of the night and wipes your bottom.
Right.
You're just like a baby, because you don't know that.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what when we was talking the first show. That's what woke me up.
Yes, is that cold?
Was the lady giving me the shower? Want me to put diapers on?
Yeah.
Oh.
So from that, it's just an experience that I moved through to when I got out of the hospital, I went back to Ball State. Because I lost memory of my whole college major, it's like I had to start at college all over again. So I changed my majors, which, with a brain injury, having to go back and relearn things was pretty hard.
How long did it take you to go back from the injury to school? Did you rush yourself back?
I did, but I
paced. That's why you couldn't understand anything at first. It was still goofy.
I was still rushing, but also, I think as survivors we have to learn our limits.
Right.
We have to know.
You have to.
We have to know our limits. We have to know what we can do and what we can't. And because of that is, I think, one of the key things. Because if we don't know our limits, we're going to set ourselves up to fail every single time. Because we're going to hurry, and we're not going to be successful, and then we'll get discouraged and depressed.
And while we're hurrying, our stimuli goes one way, and our work thoughts go another way, and
and it's not good. It's just a downward spiral from there. So when I went back to college, I made sure that I was good enough to go. And the crash happened September 12th. I was discharged to go back to Ball State as a full-time student less than 2 months later on November 7th. Again, mine is not the typical recovery. Don't know why I recovered so well so quickly, but I did. And
blessed.
I was very, very, very blessed. And I give God the credit for that.
And I do believe that. I do believe in those people that recovered like I did that shouldn't even recover.
And there are a lot of us.
Recovered quick.
Shouldn't be here.
Yeah, there are a lot of us out there.
Compared to the other people with, it's terrible. It can only be God.
It's God's grace. So
I wasn't looking for him myself. He wasn't. We didn't hang out in the same bar together. So, he found me.
I can vouch for that.
And and he finds a lot of us, and he grants his blessings in different ways, whether it's recovering physically faster or mentally faster, or being able to do something that we may not be able to do the day before. They could be little things, and that's another key thing for us survivors of traumatic brain injury, is that the little things every day that we're blessed with, we may not see them, but they just work for us every day. Something may change, and we need to celebrate those things. It's something we couldn't do the day before. So that's definitely something to celebrate. So building upon those things every day and learning, I went back to Ball State and I graduated with a bachelor's degree in insurance. I currently have a career and work full-time as a business analyst for State Auto Insurance. I'm downtown Indianapolis. So that's what I do now, and I have been very blessed.
Neat. Very, very neat.
And I had to go with that. The recovery, did you start becoming aware when you was in recovery? I mean, a lot of it, I believe, in brain injury recovery is accepting it. Once you can accept it, get over the issues and the terrible side of it, you can move forward. And you can start healing yourself.
I totally agree with that.
Did it take you long to get to that point?
It didn't, because like when my calculus book was placed in front of me from my first major and I couldn't remember anything, I was like, okay, I can't remember anything, but what can I do? I didn't look at it. It's all how you see things. Is that, okay, I can't do this any longer. And that's accepting, okay, I can't do it, but what can I do? And it's looking to do what you can and moving forward. So I think that's a great point, Matt. And it's okay to grieve. I mean, there are still some days where I may be like, I can't do this. Or my daughter may be like, Mom, can we do this? And I'm like, no. Because I have limitations, and there's some days. I mean, I'm missing out on that as a mom and my husband, but there's a lot of things I don't focus on that or dwell on that.
I still do that now. You've seen me fall down.
I still
do things I shouldn't do.
I did that in Dick's, and my daughter laughed at me, and I'm like, sorry, and she's like, oh yeah, she makes a joke out of it. But.
You know, I think like I did, somehow we became brain injury advocates. And somehow from little bitty Indiana, we became international brain injury advocates. We talked to a lot of people from all the countries, a bunch. Did you anticipate that happening at the beginning when you was recovering?
Yeah, I did not. One thing that I did before the crash, you know how therapists try to get us back doing things we used to be able to do, potentially. And I was a speaker before the crash, and they got me back into that. So, but I never knew or never thought that I would be able to inspire or influence positively international people. When I spoke at the Toastmasters International Convention in 2009, here I'm talking to people all over the world in the audience, and I did not know that I would have such a positive influence.
And Toastmasters is a speakers organization. In other words, all these guys that are there, gals that are there, that's what they do for a living, and you were addressing them.
Yes, and that was very nerve-wracking.
That's rather extraordinary.
It was. I was very nervous because here I am speaking as a speaker to speakers, and so that was a very exciting opportunity.
But now you were there, what, 23 years after your injury, roughly?
Close, yes. I'd say. Let's see. Well, that was in 2009, so. Yeah, that was, well, maybe close to 20 years.
Well, no, I'm not asking you to do math. You said you don't like to do that anymore. But I think what's important, and that Matt and I would want to emphasize, me as a caregiver, he as a survivor, is that you were doing this extraordinary feat. You shouldn't have been able to. Or, I'm curious, because Matt's addressed this any number of times, the attitude coming out of your injury as to what you can do and what you can't, and both of you have that kind of, to heck with that, I'm going to do it anyway, I'm going to have a life. Can you explain more about that as far as the attitude that those that might be watching, because my wife is the one that I care for, and that comes up from time to time, attitude.
Because being sad is going to bring on a lot of things that cause negativity, which brings on depression.
And, well, when I do professional speaking, one of my main keynote speeches is called STEPS. And it's an acronym, of course, and the first S is surrender, let go of what you can't control. So that is kind of the acceptance piece of there are things that we can't do, okay.
Kind of a serenity prayer
thing? Yeah, just kind of let go and move forward. Just don't dwell on it. And then the T is try not to play the victim attitude. Don't take the poor me, why me attitude, because that keeps you stuck. But the E is exemplify positive attitude, because a positive attitude takes us, you never know where it does take us. It takes us from having TV shows and radio shows to being able to help other survivors, being able to help anybody that comes along our path.
Okay.
So in the P, it's persevere with fortitude and determination. And then the last S, and this is hard for us as survivors, is specifically ask for help if we need it. So as a caregiver, that's hard. I mean, you may experience some of that.
A lot. In my wife's case, she hates to ask for help.
But you have to.
Because she knows she used to be able to do it without any help.
You have to get used to it.
I used to be able to do that. I'm going to do it now.
Right, yes.
If I can interrupt, because I will.
It's your show, buddy. Go for it.
It ain't got nothing to do with my show. You just know I'll interrupt. Think about it. The last time somebody asked you for help and you helped them and they got to move along, how did you feel? Did you feel warm inside?
Absolutely. And like you said, it's the best feeling knowing that you're helping someone, especially leading a better life or helping them with something that they may be struggling with.
It's not as long, but to me, it's the same emotions that when my children were born. You know, it's
Right.
just like, wow,
Cool.
I did that.
And you see them trying to find their way. And just
Right.
when you help someone, that could be an encouragement to them. Okay, well, I can do this now. What else can I do? So it perpetuates itself a little further.
And watching them grow. Whether you work with them anymore after you've put a statement out there for them to work on, just watching them grow. Strategies. Life becomes strategies with a TBI. You know, Darcy, and I'm not getting personal, but I want to talk a little bit about your family.
Okay.
Because I've got personal and talked about them before. I know them somewhat. Your husband has a brain injury as well.
Yes, he does.
Recently, last couple of years or so.
When he turned 40, which was 5 years ago,
5 years. It's been
Yes.
5 years. Wow.
that's when he had his first stroke, and then he had a mini stroke 3 years later. So he's going on, yeah. So welcome to age 40, honey.
Is he doing well?
Yes, he's still on medication. There's some things that he's getting much better with, but his stamina is not there. Just as you know, with survivors of traumatic brain injury, our stamina is nothing like it used to.
Oh, no.
So he's still very physically active, but his stamina is not what it used to be.
Is it, and you have a child, did it disrupt the family style with a brain injury compared to what you know how you grew up?
We have to be more careful with the activities that we do. My husband can do a lot more, of course, than I can, but it's disrupted a little bit, but not too much. That she hasn't led like a normal life as a kid.
Pretty hard to go to Kings Island and ride the rides.
Actually, now that you mentioned that, I can't go to Kings Island and ride rides.
Yeah, neither.
My husband did a couple years ago. He went to Kings Island, or was it last? I think no, he went last year with her, and he rode a ride, and he blacked out. And he said, you know, I can't do it anymore. So now when they go, she goes with her school group or some other. That's right. We will not ride. So it has just disrupted on that perspective. Like, but we do Disney World rides, obviously, because those are much better. But like on some of the rides that go upside down and curves and things, we can't do that.
I know you'd like somebody to certainly be. She's a beautiful young girl.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
And she's so much so. She's been the Queen of Indiana, Junior Queen for
Miss Preteen Indiana.
Miss Preteen Indiana.
Yeah,
Wow.
for America's National Teenager Scholarship Organization. Yeah.
Neat.
Oh yeah, she's a good kid.
It's extraordinary.
She also works and has done things for brain injury herself. You know, she put together where they collected belts, and they give them to the people that fixed them, give them to the people that needed them.
She has two nonprofits. One of her nonprofits, it's called Play It Safe, and it teaches kids how to have fun while protecting their brains and bodies. And we write grants, and I do mainly of course, finding the grants and applying for her. But she gets grants, and she buys helmets for underprivileged kids and gives them out to them, mainly IPS kids, through bike rodeos and bike fairs. There is a company or a business in Fishers called Honda & Fishers, their car dealership, and they sponsor Community Day. And this is the second year that they have purchased helmets for Olivia to give out at the community days. So they give out helmets. The community has really wrapped themselves around Olivia and helped her in her goals, at least with helping brain injury. And she's been at sporting events. She's been at a semi-pro football game.
Oh yeah.
She's been a lot of different places. She's received, again, awards. Was the Colts Anthem Angel Hero Award. No person under 18 has ever won that award. She has for her community service. So she's done some pretty awesome stuff with her.
She has.
With her Play Safe. Now her second nonprofit is called Don't Waste Your Belt, which is exactly what you had mentioned. And she found out about the need for belts for Indianapolis public school kids when she was doing a 6th grade speech as a result of her Play It Safe presentation.
She can give speeches. Her mom's a speaker, and she's just a smart, cute little kid. Can't let her run by herself.
Yeah. So, and actually, she's almost as tall as me now, Matt. She's really, really grown.
Is she?
But she's learned how to speak and how to communicate and help kids. And kids is, that's where her heart is.
Did I give her first interview?
On the radio, you did. Yes, that was back in 2013, I think.
And she followed me around all day. She thought it was neat.
She did.
I interviewed her for the radio, and we had fun. And
yeah, she enjoys, and that's what I like too. With like survivors of traumatic brain injury, some people may be afraid of us because they aren't familiar with us. They aren't familiar with what a brain injury is.
That's
right. And
so many things to teach you guys.
There is, and just being, again, the acceptance, because we speak our own language and we understand one another, but to the general public,
well, people won't speak to us, and we're afraid to walk off that line a little bit.
A little bit, right.
Because not really speak to them, but for the most part, I don't care. Nothing's going to bother me anymore. Right. I've died.
So she's very approachable with survivors, and that's, again, she followed you around. She's okay with that. She has a heart for helping people and kids.
Obviously.
So I think from a survivor standpoint, one of the hardest things for us is for society to accept us for our differences, because our brains may not think or our bodies may not act like normal people, but we learn with our differences.
I feel like Craig Ferguson. I should just throw this. But before I let you go back to Indianapolis,
sure.
You talked about the Colts. You're a motivational professional speaker. Those NFL teams have hired you to come in and talk to their rookies. She's even got a Ravens hat from when they won.
Yeah, and I brought a couple of things.
Let's show some stuff off.
This is me.
I want to talk about EHT too.
This is me and the Indianapolis, or the Baltimore Ravens, 2011 Baltimore Ravens. Some of these guys, this is, let's see, Tannen Doss is from Ben Davis High School in Indiana. This is Torrey Smith. He's now with the 49ers. He's very well known. Jimmy Smith. Anyway, this bunch, real fun group of guys.
Yeah.
And then I had the privilege, this is the 2012 Indianapolis Colts rookie class. And you can't see Andrew Luck he's right here. He's beneath Kobe Fleener's autograph, but Kobe Fleener, Dwayne Allen signed my photo. But this is the whole entire.
Is this pre-beard?
This is what?
Pre-beard Andrew Luck, or post-beard?
This is pre-beard Andrew Luck.
Might not recognize him in the picture.
Right. Yeah. This is pre-beard Andrew Luck.
You go over concussion and how to try to avoid it, or how you know they're going to have it, or safety, or do you? Got a couple of plays you like to teach them?
Plays? No, I can't teach them any plays. I'm not good with that. But what I talk about is the traffic education and decision-making module of the NFL Rookie Success Program. And what the rookies have to do is they have to go through a success program, like on different things like drugs, alcohol, financials. And mine is the traffic education and decision-making. And I talk to the rookies about making good decisions. But along with that, I tell them how I made a bad decision and it cost me almost my life. And that bad decision was not buckling up in a traffic situation. But then I talk about brain injury and concussion, because I asked them about concussions and how they felt. And because I hit home with several of them and I received such good responses, when the concussion lawsuit came out, they basically have not invited me back, because I do talk about concussion and I do talk about brain injury and the ramifications from it and the things that you live with for the rest of your life, unfortunately. But that's okay.
It's the nature of the beast.
It is. It is.
We got a couple of minutes left, and we get into different things along the way, see what can cure us. We're all about that. If you're a strong working survivor. And Darcy's into ETH, and I'm certainly going to let her explain it all.
Okay.
There's things I'll explain later on.
It's called, well, you're very, very close, Matt. It's called EHT.
EHT.
You're awesome. You're very close. And what this is this is a supplement. It's an age-defying supplement, and it helps keep our brain healthy. It's not a cure, as you mentioned earlier. We're not doctors. It's not a cure. It's not medicine. It's a supplement, and it keeps the damaged part of our brains healthy. And I don't know about you, Matt, but I know part of my brain's damaged. And I only have so much left in my brain. And I want to keep the healthy, what's left in the best shape and best health as it can be, because I don't want it to deteriorate further. And this is science-based. It's proven. It's based out of a professor at Princeton University, developed this, patented. I don't know of any brain supplements that are patented. It has a special ingredient which keeps the connectors in our brain strong. And as you get older, the neurons don't connect as well.
Do you have,
Yes.
since we're getting near the end of the show, do you
Yes.
have a website that you might put out there so that people could look this up, or a,
Sure.
or a site of your own, Facebook
Sure.
or something?
I have a couple different sites. On the Nerium site, you can find more information on DarcyKeith, and that's DarcyKeith
Okay.
.nerium.com.
Okay.
And they can find out all about it.
About EHT.
Okay.
There's also
We're not
Nerium.
doing a commercial.
Yeah.
There's NeriumEHT.com. And then they can also contact me through my own website, and that's just DarcyKeith.com. And I'd be glad to give some more
And you've got a
information.
link there? That'd probably be easiest.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're nearing the end of the shows,
Should-
guys.
It's a real nice link.
And I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm fascinated. I'd like to see this young lady back if she'd like to come, and the success that you've had. Remember, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to give you hope and some help. We hope that you will at least listen, keep an open mind, and know that there is hope. Again, we're not advocating any product, technique, or anything else, but we want you to know that there is some light at the end of the tunnel after a brain injury. I'm Malin Whitaker for Matt Duffin
I'm
and
Matt
Darcy
with-
Keith. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
1936 Joe DiMaggio ring. I love it.
Thank you for having me a guest on your show.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, Darcy. I always love seeing you. I mean, we're just fun people.
Absolutely.
The topics discussed and the information provided on this program is for general information. The hosts of this show are not medical professionals and are expressing their personal views and stories related to their individual lives. Their views are not intended to be used or taken as medical information. If you or a family member have suffered a traumatic brain injury, you should seek help from a practicing licensed physician.